We talking about CIA experimentation. I mean, move bombing. I mean, they're just on and on and on and on and on. We could be the key to the African world. I mean, black people in America are the fourth largest group of African people anywhere on planet Earth. India, Nigeria, and Brazil, to my knowledge, are the only countries I know of that have more black people in it than America. I just got a sign that there was a fifth one, but I'm not with that. So, and you're talking about the fourth largest nation of African people in the world. You're talking about the ninth richest nation of people in the world, period. In other words, we look at black people in America as a separate nation. Last year, we made upwards of $860 billion, I believe. All right, that would make us the ninth richest nation in the entire world. But unfortunately, because we don't produce anything, we give all that money right back to somebody else and end up using our money to make other people rich. We're using our money to expand the Arab and Korean economy in black neighborhoods as opposed to expand the black economy in black neighborhoods. So this is something that needs to be addressed and dealt with. And then you got things simply with these various laws that are out here. When you talking about things like the King Alfred Plan, which is a national contingency plan that calls for the physical annihilation of black people in America under certain conditions, whether you're talking about the McCarran Act, Public Law number 932 of the 81st Congress, Title II, Sections 102 through 104, internal concentration detention camps, should President proclaim internal security emergency. Then you have to deal with these various executive orders that allow the president to do anything from confiscating your cars to confiscating your homes to relocating the population and have you work for free. I mean, there's a whole laundry list of presidential executive orders that the president can simply proclaim, and that becomes a law. The Constitution gets suspended, and he basically does what he feels like doing. We have immense potential, but unfortunately we aren't using that potential in our own best interest. We need to learn the value of ethnic solidarity. We need to learn how to work cooperatively with each other. We need to start practicing something called functional cooperation or operational unity. In other words, if there are 10 issues on the table and we agree on 7 issues and we disagree on 3, we need to focus on the 7 we agree on rather than focusing on the 3 we disagree on. And the 3 we disagree on, we just go our separate ways. And the 7 things we do agree on, we need to work cooperatively with each other for our own mutual benefit. In essence, we are pregnant with potential, but to the extent that we utilize our potential in our own best interest ultimately has to do with us being able to recapture our own minds. And as long as our minds are being controlled by someone else, we're going to remain in trouble. Sada Shakur used to say that the greatest weapon in the arsenal of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. All right? That the greatest weapon he has is our minds to use against us. And so if we can regain control of our own selves, and that needs to be done, A, through trying to develop some quality relationships with each other, B, trying to deal with some African-centered education. If you can't find a school to send your kid to, you need to come up with some kind of homeschooling program you do on your own. I mean, my mother, before I could go out and play, before I started kindergarten, I had to learn my ABCs, I had to write my ABCs every day. It would usually take me 3 hours to write 26 letters, and I'd be crying in between, but I couldn't go outside till I wrote my ABCs. I had to know how to tie my shoes, I had to know how to tell time. This is what my mother made me do before I started kindergarten. So parents have to start stepping up to the plate and being their children's first teachers. The teacher is designed, to teach at school is designed to enhance what the parent does, not replace what the parent does. It's the parent who is the children's first teacher. When you look at the quality of our relationships and start basing these relationships based on some quality coming together for people's mutual benefit, and stop trying to use each other and dog each other out to get as much as we can out of the other person, etc., etc. Finally, I think we need to regain gain control of our economic situation. We need to come up with some kind of plan to recapture the economy of our own neighborhoods. If Koreans and Arabs can run businesses, then how come we can't? And why is it that we're taking our money and making everybody else rich at our expense? So we need to start finding ways to systematically retake over the economies of our own communities, so that we are the ones in control of those stores and shops, as opposed to other people setting up those stores and shops in our neighborhoods and us making them rich. Can you imagine a soul food restaurant surviving in a Chinese neighborhood? I mean, the very idea sounds ridiculous, but the idea of a Chinese restaurant surviving in a black neighborhood sounds normal. Okay, again, goes back to this concept of utengano, us accepting abnormal behavior as though it were normal. These are things, again, we need to fight against. And again, ultimately comes down to how we deal with our relationships and how we deal with our children. If we can improve the quality of our relationships, males and females, we can improve the quality of the way we raise our children, the kind of education, the kind of things, start raising our children with love and care and concern, and stop trying to give them things to replace time and commitment, then I think we'll be much better off as a people. Our situation is bad, but it's not hopeless. This is still a winnable fight, but we have to gain the will to win this fight, and we have to be willing to sacrifice to be able to win this fight. Freedom is not free. Freedom is one of the most costly things on earth. It costs you a whole lot to get it, and it costs even more to keep it. And unless and until we're willing to do those things, I mean, ultimately, our ability to make those kind of decisions is going to ultimately determine whether we survive or whether we are wiped out as a people. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share these ideas, and appreciate it, and hope things go well.